Alright, so I've been having problems for, I don't know, probably about the last 45 minutes with my internet not wanting to work. um, this right here, though, is about an AEW Caleb Forever. That's what he calls himself. He types in quotation, "These people, you sound racist." Okay. You know, I'm pretty specific in most of my videos about which you people I'm talking about. If I'm talking about the police and I say you people, who am I talking about? I'm pretty specific and I do stop. When I say these people, I will stop and explain who you people or these people or those people are. Why? Because my entire life I've heard racist black people go out of their way to say that you people or these people is racist. If I got five white guys up on me and I tell those five guys, hey, you people need to leave me the fuck alone. I'm not talking about all white people. I'm talking about those five motherfuckers there being assholes. Does that make me a racist? How about if those five people are black? What if they're mixed? What if two of them are black, one's Mexican, one's Canadian, and, well, I guess Canadian isn't a skin color, is it? But you get what I'm saying, right? You want to go out of your way, after I've already explained that in my videos, you want to go out of your way to say that I'm racist. What a fucking twiddledorf. All right, AEW Caleb Forever commented, "Shut up, bum. You could easily go to a homeless shelter or get on housing. I am on housing. Did not take that much to get on. You choose to stay homeless." Just read all of that bullshit. Holy fuck. First of all, he tells me to shut up. Of course. Any victim who's not black at this point needs to shut the fuck up, right? Then he calls me a bum. You know, that's like calling somebody the N-word. It really is. You might as well just called me the N-word. Seriously, that's how fucked up an individual you are. But it's fine because it's not racist. It's not race. Then he types, "You could easily go to a homeless shelter." Where? There is no homeless shelter here. There's no homeless shelter in Sydney, 30 miles away. There's not even a homeless shelter in Scotts Bluff. Yeah, I could easily go to a homeless shelter. You know, after Natalie died, I needed a safe place. A homeless shelter wasn't it. And I tried explaining that to people, they're not understanding. Hey, I'm trying to avoid violence. People are getting violent in small groups over whether or not I killed Natalie. Yeah, maybe you should, I don't know, use your fucking brain. Or think about it when I tell you the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, however many fucking times that I have to say it and you still don't hear me. Like, holy fuck. I have a voice. I can hear my voice. I can record my voice and then play my voice back to myself. My voice does exist. I'm not a mute. He types, or get on housing. I am on housing. The maintenance man from housing called me this morning. So, yeah, I'm on housing. Finally. From when I was 4 years old until I was 37, I just fell through the cracks. There's all of these places and institutions and so on and so forth that you can go to for help when you have an issue. But then you go to those places and they don't help how you're told they're supposed to help. I've recorded a lot of these places that y'all told me to get a hold of and to jump through these hoops for. I've recorded them saying the very things that I told you and you said, no, that's not the way it works. That's not. I will fucking record these people and post it up on the goddamn internet for you. If holding the evidence in front of your fucking face and all you do is close your goddamn eyes, you're a pretty fucked up individual. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. I don't see anything. Anyway, he types, I am on housing. Did not take that much. Really? Really? What, are you rich? You got a rich mommy and daddy? Is that what it is? You just got on housing. Did not take that much. That's cute. The thing is that it took me a lot of work and a lot of effort, a lot more effort than it was worth to try to get housing for years, because that's what everybody else wanted to tell me that I needed to do. Sean, go get disability and you need to get into housing. I'm fucking trying. You have no idea how many times I was denied at Hilltop. If I don't do these things, then these people get mad at me and they don't want to be my friend because I'm not doing what they want. Like, fuck, I'm trying. Is that not fucking good enough? I told you, you need to go in with me. No, Sean, you're an adult. You have to go do this by yourself. No, if I go do this by myself and if I don't get the outcome that you expect me to get just because you told me to go do it, you're going to treat me like shit and you're not going to be my friend anymore. You go in with me. Don't tell me what happened when you weren't there. Go with me so you can say that you were there. So that you can speak as somebody who knows instead of somebody who's fucking spouting bullshit. Now then there's this one of these things that I was talking about in one of my other videos. The things that you say when you argument. Here's what it says. And you have no idea how many of you fucking idiots, black, white, it don't fucking matter. You're all assholes to the fucking homeless. All of you. All it takes for evil to thrive is for you to look the other fucking way. When this shit happens to black folks, I post it. When it happens to white folks, I post it up. When it happens to natives, I post it up. I'm not racist about what I post. I don't tell other victims that they need to shut up because they're taken away from my cause. But you know what? If you're going to tell me that, I'll tell you that back. We got an issue of police brutality. An issue of police brutality against the homeless more so than all other people in America combined. All of you have it better than the fucking homeless. You notice I do have just a couple more rights than I had before because of that roof. You notice there's a couple things I'm able to do for myself instead of having to depend on somebody like Brenda Dickinson. I am able to get mail here now. Chapel, Nebraska, you have to have a P.O. box. In order to get a P.O. box, you have to have an address. There's only a P.O. box allowed per physical address. So you have to get a physical address in order to get a mailbox so that you can receive your mail. Why did I have to do that? Because I can't trust anybody else with the mail. Brenda Dickinson didn't answer her door or check the mail for 2 weeks. I had important paperwork that I needed to get done and filled out and taken care of so that I could fucking defend myself, so that I could be allowed to defend myself. And it didn't take that much for him to get on. Man, you ask most people who've been in fucking this situation. There are very few people who are like, oh, I need to get into housing. Oh, dude, cool, you're in. Oh, no. That doesn't happen very often. My waiting list this time was, I want to say, a month and a half, which is fucking incredible. Before that, you have no idea how many times that I had applied at that very same place, because people say, you have to, you have to, you have to, you have to do this, you have to do that. Yeah. And if you go in with me, these people are more likely to do their jobs. If you go in with me and you hear what it is that that person is saying, and they're not doing their jobs properly, I have a witness. And that right there, the fact that there is a witness, if they don't do their jobs properly, they are more likely to actually do their jobs properly. When I said I needed help in person, shit, it shouldn't have taken me 7 months just to try to get someone to go in with me in person to speak to the police. I told y'all what happens when you go in alone. I even showed you many, many, many examples of what happens when you go in to turn in a police officer alone. This whole you choose to be homeless. You choose to be homeless. When you lose an argument to a homeless person, it's either you choose to be homeless or you need to get a job. You need to get a job. You need to get a job, dude. Fuck no. I am not gonna fucking pay my predators. Are you fucking kidding me? I have spent every penny that I have had in the last 2 years to pay my predators to victimize me and to try to find a safe environment where I'm not victimized by those predators, and also traveling back to those places for court so that I could be victimized by my predators again. A lot of people keep telling me I need to shut up because I'm white and I'm privileged. What it's like to not be able to breathe, to have them force fucking drugs into me that they are killing people with nationwide. These illegal concoctions that the police ask the hospitals for, and the hospitals give it to them. It's the way Tibor Hatay was killed. It's the way Elijah McClain was killed. This is some fucked up shit. I'm gonna tell you the name of another man who was killed that same way. And I know he doesn't matter as much to many of these groups because he's not black. And there are people who will tell me that I'm just trying to take away from the black cause by posting this. I'm used to that. It says federal judge tosses excessive force suit against 5 Dallas officers in Tony Timpa case. Tony Timpa is a white guy, but he didn't deserve that. Y'all don't see how the homeless are treated, which is kind of amazing because, well, they're stuck living outside where everyone can see. You guys have arguments with your husbands or your wives inside of your houses, but then you see homeless people who are flipping out because everything that has been stolen. Their loved ones have been killed by the police just for being fucking homeless. It doesn't even hit the fucking paper. But sometimes they'll put it in the paper if one of us drowns or if we freeze to death. Danny, he overdosed of heroin. Oh, he took a hot shot, but God, the police didn't even fucking care. They knew that Danny was back there behind the pedestrian shop, not breathing and unresponsive. You know how fucked up that is? They didn't show up for 4 hours. In Boulder County, black folks are incarcerated, victimized by the police at a 5-to-1 ratio over their white counterparts. Homeless, it's 346-to-1 over their housed counterparts. These are not human beings to you people. When I say you people, I mean all of you, regardless of your color. If you can turn a blind eye to this, the most victimized people in America are foster children, former foster children, and the homeless. And of course, former foster children were foster children at one point in time. And most of the homeless people are former foster children. So all three of those categories are pretty high up there. There are more hate crimes against the homeless, though, than all other hate crimes combined. But the FBI doesn't consider a hate against a homeless person a hate crime. However, they do consider it a hate crime to go after a child molester or a rapist. Did you know that? It's illegal. It's against the law. All of the things that were done to me would have been illegal if I'd have been a sex offender. They are illegal because I'm disabled. But you know what? I could have gotten a sex offender group to help me if I'd have been a sex offender. How fucked up is that? Oh my fucking God. Here's a question. What percentage of child molesters in the United States are Christians? Oh God, you've got to know this. When bad shit happens to innocent people, I speak up. It doesn't matter what fucking color you are. I will speak up about the predator and I will speak up about their prey. I don't care what color each of them are. Wrong is wrong. It's not just wrong to do it to black people. Black people killing a white woman for saying all lives matter. All lives matter is not racist. All lives matter is pointing out the fact that this is happening to many people across the nation, not just black people. It's not just white people creating this hate and discontent. It's not just white people for committing heinous, racially motivated crimes. And I know it's easy to look at one white person who types something that you don't like or you don't agree with and go, fucking white people. But we're not allowed to do that. That's racist. I want you to imagine a scenario, all right, where you are reading something and it's a white person and you think, fucking crackers. Was it crackers that said it? No, I've got crackers. Crackers, what do you got to say about the situation? My crackers don't give a shit. They're turning a blind eye, and obviously, therefore, they cannot be a solution to the problem. Now, I want you to replace the word cracker with the word. Imagine that situation just a little bit differently toned. It's wrong now, isn't it? Now it's wrong. Before it's socially acceptable. Now it's wrong. But then it depends on where. See, we got the liberal dumbasses and then conservative dumbasses. And they're both doing the same exact thing to each other. And here's me going, you guys are a bunch of fucking dumbasses. I lived in Boulder, Colorado, this supposedly liberal place. You know what I learned from living in Boulder? That place is liberal. What liberal means is using slave labor from the homeless to build monuments for yourself and putting your name on it. That's liberal. That's also conservative. At the bottom, there's a difference. Everybody shits on the bottom. Shit rolls downhill, and we live on what? A really fucked up social ladder. We get about 30 or 40 rungs at the bottom, within like a foot, right? And then we got probably 2 or 3 rings that are pretty close together, 10 foot up from that. And then you go 100 foot up from that, and you've got one rung at the very top, and that's your ladder. There isn't a bunch of equal steps on the way up. There's the poor and the people who victimize the poor, and that is it. Sad part, the poor, they're desperate. They'll do desperate shit. They will fucking sell out their grandmother. They will fucking stab their best friend. They will fucking sell drugs. They will whatever to fucking survive. You do realize that self-preservation is a hallmark of humankind. Why am I not willing to kill a police officer? Even knowing that Officer Steinman took part in at least 11 of my friends and bragged about it. Because I don't think that'll affect the change that we need. That won't set the example that we need. That'll make Keith Steinman a fucking martyr. He's a murderer, not a martyr. But, of course, with propaganda in the media, they'll pretend like this dude was a good guy. No, if somebody fucking shoots Steinman in the head, they're doing the world a favor. Just because I'm not willing to put a bullet in Steinman's head or Officer French's head, just because I'm not willing to do those things, doesn't mean that I won't rejoice when those people are gone by whatever means happens to them. If someone shoots them, I'll be glad that they're gone. I'll be sad that they were made a martyr. A better example would have been set if people would work together and put Steinman in prison where he belongs. You know, there are officers of different color all over the place, and many of those officers of different colors treat the homeless the same way that George Floyd was treated. They look for excuses, same as the white officers. They are trained in who they can victimize and to do so. And they get put on with a veteran of the force. And he teaches them the tricks of the trade, how to manipulate the law so that you can break the law and get away with it. Who you can do this to, who has the money to sue. For me, telling these people that I couldn't breathe and to stop fucking drugging me, to get an officer to look at the fucking evidence. But the others don't show up fucking, and if they do, they don't listen to me. They don't make any effort listening to me. You think you got it bad because you're black, you should try being homeless. You should try being homeless with PTSD. You think the cops are bad now, try being homeless. You want to talk about the most victimized people in America? Oh well, Sean, if you're on the black people's side, you're on the most victimized people in America's side, and fucking you're doing good for all of us. No, absolutely not. I'm doing worse for all of us, and there's a reason for that. It's because I'm turning a blind eye to all of the other victims, including myself, by doing that. And all of the hatred that I get, the hatred that I receive, and you know what? I give that hatred back. I don't deserve it. If you do it to me, I'm going to do it back to you. And if you don't fucking like to do it back to you, and you want to call me a racist for doing it back to you, I want you to think about who fucking started it. Oh, well, it started fucking hundreds of years ago. No, slavery started thousands of years ago. But you being a douchebag to me started with you. You being a punk ass little bitch motherfucking asshat. All of my shit like you know what the fuck is going on. But you weren't there for any of it. I'm not going to tell Native Americans that they need to knock it off with their MMIW because it's taking away from the most victimized people in America, which is the homeless. No, the homeless are speaking out for most of you. I see homeless people on my Facebook every single day speaking for missing and murdered Indigenous women, speaking for Black Lives Matters. And these homeless people, unlike the majority of you, most of these homeless people are right where I'm at, stuck in the middle, getting victimized over and over and being told by members of these groups whose rights we are fighting for, being told that we're racist because we're fighting for other groups. We're not just fighting for BLM. We're also fighting for missing and murdered Indigenous women. And we're also fighting for the homeless. The most victimized people in America are the homeless. And who does the most for the homeless? The homeless. Who does the most to speak out for our rights? The homeless. And you tell them they just need to get a job. Most of them have jobs. And then you treat them like addicts. There is a smaller number of, of addicts per capita, or a smaller percentage of homeless people that are addicts than there are in houses. Here in Chapel, Nebraska, we've got 40 to 60% alcoholism rate. That's just alcohol. And we have meth here too. So, yeah, there are more sober homeless people than there are people in houses who are sober. They're all druggies. You know, it's racist if you say that about black people, but you say it about homeless people and it's okay. Or you pretend that they're all child molesters or rapists or murderers. Or you pretend that they got a Maserati with a drop top. It's always a drop top in them stories, ain't it? Always. Man, I saw this guy with a brand new Corvette convertible out there flying a sign. Holy fuck, dude. You know how many homeless people there are out here? You know how much you actually get flying a sign? Have you ever had to fly a sign? Have you ever been so injured and so fucked up and so in hell from homelessness that you've had to fly a sign? I flew a sign for Desiree because she needed diapers. And after 4 hours of holding that sign saying that I needed money for diapers, I flipped it over and I wrote a lie on it. I wrote, "Why lie? I need a beer." And it was maybe 20 minutes sitting there with the sign. We got enough to get diapers. So I was asking for beer, but I was also asking the right crowd and on the right night under some very nice conditions where you would think, God, with all those people walking by, you'd think, you know, asking for diapers, asking for anything with the sign, with all of the free stuff that you think homeless people are getting. You'd think with that many people, I'd have made $1,000 in 4 hours. No, but I made enough for diapers. So, this dude, what's he call himself? aewcaleb forever. You know, there's a guy here in town named Chris. There's actually a few Chris's. And he says to me, Sean, I've had to go through some, but I got my dad. And that's absolutely right. He said that's really the difference between him and I, is that he's got his dad. That if he'd ended up in the situation that I was in, his dad wouldn't have stood for it. My family didn't give a fuck. Train. Most of the people that I know that got housing, that got anything, didn't go in alone. They had help. And they want to talk about how they did it all themselves. They don't want to admit that their mom or dad gave them rides to these places or helped them to pay the insurance on their car or things of that nature. You know, when you're younger, that's a lot more important, because when you're younger and you get that help, then you're able to actually somewhat decent start. Me, I didn't have anywhere close to a decent start. If you cut somebody off at the knees right at the starting line, they're not going to win the race. And it shouldn't be a race. And you shouldn't be treating them like they're pieces of shit for being in last place when they've got no feet. You tell them that they have to finish. They have to. You keep on pushing them to it. Do this, do that. If you don't do what I tell you to, I'm going to punish you. They stumble and fall over. You tell them not to fall over, but they're in pain and they fall over again. So you chop off their hands to prevent them from falling over again, right? To discourage them from falling over. You punish them by taking away their hands, their tools, specifically for the purpose of stopping yourself from face planting. And when they fall over again, well, they don't have any hands. They can't stop it. And I know a lot of y'all aren't going to get that analogy. In order to defend yourself when you were falsely accused, you need a lot of resources. But also, when you're falsely accused, they take away your resources. And then they put pretendy resources in there. And pretend like you can use them, and pretend like they work, and pretend like everybody has access. Everybody should have access to the phones in the jails, and I do mean that. Everybody should be allowed to make telephone calls in all of the fucking places that I was locked up. If I'd have been able to make telephone calls to the people that I needed to, it would have made a difference. And the one place where I actually had that, when it would make a difference, was when I was locked up in Larimer County, because Arapahoe County pulled every trick that they could in order to defend themselves against their own wrongdoing. They knew I was going to try to take them to fucking court immediately after getting out of court, so they had me transferred. They lied to me about the transfer and lied to me about the warrants. And Pamela Carty told me that she did her job. She did what she was supposed to, and that those warrants were not there, that those places were aware that I was incarcerated and therefore could not be charged with failure to appear. But Pamela Carty, she's a public pretender, and she was lying out her ass because she didn't want to get in trouble. I threatened to sue her by that point for not showing up to multiple court dates, making every fucking excuse, and her not showing up. I mean, how the hell am I supposed to take that when we haven't had a meeting where she actually sits down and listens to me? Instead, it's me being told that I'm going to get railroaded and there's nothing I can do about it, and I should just blah, 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 fucking blah. Like, Jesus Christ, Pamela. Look at the fucking evidence. You can look at the fucking evidence. You can requisition the fucking evidence. Why don't you? Her and her boss, when I told her I was going to sue her, her and her boss sat there and tried to say that they were going to have me committed. I'm like, hey, Pamela, that ain't going to work. So you guys brought me in here and you broke all of my constitutional rights. You called me mentally ill to deny me my rights as an American citizen. And then you have this dude who's also a public pretender have it fucking stated that I'm not crazy. I can stand trial and so on and so forth. Well, which the fuck is it? Am I crazy or no? If I am crazy, why am I still out here? If I'm not crazy, then why the fuck didn't you do your goddamn job? Now, what's your definition of crazy? We've already had conversations recorded on my fucking YouTube here with many people that I know who are like, yeah, Sean, you're definitely not fucking schizophrenic. But that's what people hear the term mentally ill. There are so many people posting up BLM stuff and then making excuses why this violence against white people is somehow magically okay. I'm going to tell you, throughout history, there have been a lot of people killed. There are a lot of people in America who are killed by black people. And if I say that, I'm supposedly a racist, right? No, that's not racist. That's a fact. Look at all these black people getting killed by white people. There's really not a whole lot, with the exception of the police. Not sure if you noticed, but white boys aren't generally associated with real gang warfare. We've had white boys in Chapel, Nebraska claiming Crips and Bloods, and yeah, no. No. I was jumped in by my cousin who's half black. Oh, God. More of these fucking stories. Holy shit, dude. I suppose you're going to tell me your best friend is black, and that's why you talk like an idiot. It's called emulating. You got a bunch of screwed up white kids wanting to emulate what they see on TV. And then y'all want to tell me I'm detached from reality. Glorious, glorious day. I finally got my housing back a few months ago. And do you know why I got housing back? Because I had an actual human being helping me the way that I needed. What's even better than that is that I didn't even have to tell her. I'd make all these videos to tell all of you guys the help that I need. And this woman is not autism advocate. And she already knows. I don't even have to tell her. She already knows. It's kind of like Tamara at Region 1. She knew what I needed. She got a son that's autistic. Same thing with my autism advocate. He's familiar with it. They're both familiar with it. And they didn't do the terrible things that so many other people did. And everybody says the same thing. Oh, I already understand autism. I don't need you to explain it. Yeah, actually, you do. Your excuses and the bullshit that you type and the fucked up shit that you think shows that you don't know a goddamn thing about autism. I keep getting told that white people are ignoring the black issues. No, I've been speaking out about this shit years. About how fucked up it is that black people are getting fucking killed. And it's not just George Floyd. I've been documenting this shit on my Facebook for fucking years. YEARS. Not days, not months. We're talking almost a decade now. Just on Facebook and in real life. Oh my God. You know why I'm fucking not well liked in this town to begin with? Because I stuck up for black people. They blame everything on Blackskins, and on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, I get to hear the N-word 400,000 fucking times. Well, not 400,000 times, but if I hardly ever go out on that day, I'll hear that word probably 20 times. And if I'm out and about all day long, I might hear it 100, 200 easily. And every time people use that N word, I say, I don't like that word. It don't matter what color. I don't care if you're black, that word is just as inappropriate for you to say as it is for me. And if you say that word, I'm going to tell you I don't like that word. You got no idea how many white people tell me, oh, well, the dictionary definition is. No, the fuck it's not. That is not the dictionary definition of that word. I'm going to type that word in right now, and I'm going to give you the dictionary definition of that word. Sorry, my mouth is dry. All right. Now it is phonetically written as NIG dot GER, and then it's got the slash things, and it's got NIG, and then it's got an upside down and backward Z and an R, and then another forward slash, and it says noun, offensive, a contemptuous term for a black or dark skinned person. Yeah, that doesn't sound ignorant to me. What sounds ignorant to me is you telling me that that word means ignorant. Don't spout ignorance at me. I'm not fucking retarded. I'm autistic. Big fucking difference. I got an IQ of 172. Statistically speaking, there's only one of me for every 70 towns and cities in America. One. One. Matter of fact, we're going to look this up. We're going to do some math right fucking now, just to bore the shit out of you guys. The truth is always boring, ain't it? We'll type how many people live in the United States. $328.2 million. So we're going to round that down by 1,000. Well, I'll get this piece of paper here because I don't want to open up too many tabs or the video will shut off. 328 million. And that's according to the, says 2019. All right. Now we will type in all right. Let's see. I suppose we could go for the easy question here, and we will go, how many towns and cities in the U.S.? All right, perfect. As of 2018, there are 19,495 incorporated cities, towns, and villages in the United States. 14,768 of these have populations below 5,000. Only 10 have populations above 1 million, and none are above 10 million. 310 cities are considered at least medium cities with populations of 100,000 or more. It's good to know. But what number were we after? How many were? All right, so there are 19,495 95 towns, cities, and villages. What IQ is 99th percentile? By the way, I've been in the 99th percentile my entire life. It says high IQ groups criteria. Intertel, 99th percentile. GRE of 1,300, SAT of 1,375 prior to 1993 only. Stanford Binet of 136. Colloquy, 99.5 percentile. It's not saying the ones for the IQ test. Bug it. Here it is. IQ percentile and rarity chart. Now this right here, it's slow and boring. This is what doing the work actually requires. Getting the information, getting the math, writing it down. Let's see. Oh, I do not have an IQ that high. That's amazing. An IQ of 190. You have a 1 in, looks like 1 in 1,9,976,678. Oh fuck. that's that's a big number. Looks like we would have, statistically, we would have around about 3 people with that IQ in the entire country. We're going down here to 172. We've gone from the billions to the millions. The chances of having a 172 IQ are 1 in 1,258,887. All right. Now we're able to do some math. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take 328,200,000 and we're going to divide it by the chances of having a 172 IQ. Divided by 1,258,887. Right. So it looks like there's about 260 people in the entire country with my IQ. 260 people total out of a grand total of 19,495 towns, cities, and villages. So we'll do this math. We will take that number and let's see. We will go 19,495 divided by 260. It looks like there is one person with an IQ of 172 for every 74.98 townships. So we'll just call that a rounded 75. All that just for one little number, right? See, instead of telling me what you think the numbers are, look them the fuck up. Do the math. Don't take someone else's word for it. If someone tells you that the N word means ignorant, you let them know how ignorant they are. Sierra Silva asked, where do I live? I live in Chapel, Nebraska. Lots of people ask that. Why, you gonna be nice and come put a hole in my head? Looks like I missed a phone call. It's an 866 number, so it's probably somebody wanting money from me. They kiss my ass.